My guest for this TDL profile is musician Lauren Zettler. Lauren, hello.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you for joining me. So,
Having me.
for people who aren't familiar at all with your music, let's start there. How would you describe your music?
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter. That's usually the first thing that I say, but I generally, categorizing is so difficult, but I know people need a point of reference. And so I generally say it's like indie folk pop, kind of. Um, I play the guitar. I have an electric guitar player that plays with me, and that's what we do as a duo usually.
And you have a few albums that have been on iTunes. Talk a little bit about that experience.
I've released two EPs under my name, and then my guitarist Karen Mizell and I released a Christmas album under a band name, Be Still. The way the search results are, like everything is connected, and if you play your cards right, you can kind of start showing up on all those pages, and people will see your name and be curious. There are other alternatives. There's Amazon and Rhapsody and CD Baby and lots of different places. There's bandcamp.com. You can put your stuff all over the internet, so it doesn't have to be iTunes by any means. But it is the most popular, so I think that it's definitely important for a reason.
Do you tour a lot, or do you play in New York a lot?
I'm kind of on the cusp of transitioning between playing strictly in New York and touring. Basically, last year we started touring a little bit around outside of New York City, and then also I did a tour in the Pacific Northwest and the Midwest. So I'm starting to get out there, and it was my first time kind of doing that. I'm getting a lot more comfortable, and that's kind of my goal for 2010 is to tour as much as I possibly can, because I think that's really important in building a career as a DIY independent artist.
Do you think that we're finally at the point where that's plausible for a lot of artists to make it be a career without the support of a label?
Most definitely. I have a background working for Universal Music Group, so I have kind of a little bit of knowledge about what goes on the other side of things, and I think it's totally plausible. The way that the industry is now, I don't know who really wants a record deal. I mean, if you want to be Lady Gaga or Beyonce or something like that, you need a major label behind you. But if you just want to write music and sustain yourself as best as you can, if you're not worried about being rich and you really just want to do what makes you happy, I think it's definitely possible. You have to work really hard, and you have to find a balance between, loving, not working so hard that you start to hate what you're doing. But yeah, I think it's definitely possible. And at this point, most of the deals that any label would offer you is not really going to benefit you monetarily that much. It just really depends on what your goals are.
And I know you're on Twitter, and are you on Facebook as well? Facebook and MySpace. How does all that play into how you market yourself? And as a singer-songwriter, how do you manage your time to do all this, the extracurricular stuff that you need to promote yourself?
Yeah, balancing your time is really difficult. I could spend all day on the computer if I chose to, and some days I do. It's just, I guess, I don't know, that's like the number one task as being an independent musician is trying to figure out how to balance your time. But yes, I utilize Twitter, and Tumblr is a blogging platform that has been really great for me. MySpace, it's there. It's kind of a dying thing. I don't really utilize it as much as I used to in terms of sending messages and events and stuff like that. Facebook. I pretty much use everything that I can, and then it's just a matter of trying to upkeep things to make sure that you look like you're current and that you're doing things. And so that can get kind of overwhelming. But I would say my main source of communicating with fans or friends in the industry is Twitter.
obviously, a lot of songs are written about love and loss. And here's my question: is it possible to write a serious song about technology?
Yeah, sure. You can write a song about anything. It really just depends. I could write a song about technology, but not even use the word technology in my song if I didn't. It could be about my love affair with technology and how much I hate it sometimes. And, it's a love-hate relationship because it's great, but it breaks. And I don't know, you could do anything. That's what's so great about songwriting as a form of expression.
Okay, I expect to see that on the next album.
Okay.
So you're an iPhone user, correct?
Huh?
What phone did you have before the iPhone?
I had a BlackBerry before the iPhone.
And what made you decide to switch?
Pretty much the social networking tools on the iPhone. That was my main reason for switching. There are so many apps you can have and so many ways to update the internet immediately that it just was so convenient. And also, I just love Apple products and how smooth they are and how pretty they are. And so I wanted one for a long time, but I had to wait for my contract on the other network carrier to expire.
And so what other Apple products do you have?
Well, I have an iMac, which I'm using right now. And then I also have a PowerBook laptop. And we have the iPhone. My guitar player and I use Logic to record with. I made a switch when I went to college. My parents were PC users. In high school, I used Macs for design work on my high school magazine. That was my only experience. And then when I went to Berkeley College of Music in Boston, they required us to purchase a laptop, a Mac laptop. So I was forced to make the switch, but I was happy to. And so I've been using their products ever since.
And when you go on the road, do you think you'll be able to get away with just the iPhone, or are you going to pack the laptop as well?
I always take my laptop just because the iPhone, it's so small, and sometimes I just need like my space to try and really write and figure out, what I'm gonna say, or like post a blog. But for the most part, like while I'm doing things, the iPhone is all I need because I have an app where I can, take a picture or a voice memo or whatever, and I can upload it to all of my websites on the internet at once. And that's just so easy and awesome. I've been making video blogs since I started, and that was kind of how I segued into performing live. I didn't do that a lot until after I graduated college and had moved to New York and had gotten my job. I just didn't play out very much. It still scared me. So I used YouTube to try and put some songs out there and see what kind of response I got, and then also watch myself and listen to myself and see, what I need to do to improve. And now I make video updates when I'm on tour. I upload those to YouTube, and I've got a pretty good amount of subscribers who follow me, and I also post covers, and covers are a great way to get more traffic to your channel. And then if they like the cover, hopefully they'll click on one of your other original videos, and then maybe they'll click on a link to buy an album. It's just it's all about putting yourself out there in as many ways as possible to eventually get someone back to the page where they can purchase your music. I think it's important to, again, release quality, good music, and then people will see that and they will buy what they love. And that's all you can do is try and do what you can to create a good product.
You can find out more about Lauren and go to her YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook pages from her homepage at laurenzettler.com. For thedigital lifestyle.tv, I'm Ryan Ritchie.